Blackstone Audio presents Nightfall by Cherry Adair. Chapter 1. Mallaruza, Central West Africa. "Morning," Kess Goodall said absently, as she and Simon Blackthorne passed in an upstairs hallway of the city offices of Mallaruza's state capitol building. Tear and sweat tracks painted pale lines through the dirt on her sunburned cheeks, and her gray eyes were shadowed. Something was up. She made no effort to hide it. In fact, Simon observed that despite the greeting, she was barely aware of those she passed, and probably wasn't even seeing individuals as she speed-walked by. Intrigued, he turned to watch her retreat. Cute ass. She was publicist for Abioye Bongani, Simon's old college friend and current president of Mallaruza. Goodall had held up well in the past 2 months, considering that she'd been banished to this tiny country in Midwestern Africa. No one wanted to hire her back in Atlanta, Georgia, where she was from. The PR community there had closed ranks on her. Instead of looking for a job anywhere else in the United States, she'd opted for a time out here in Africa. She hadn't chosen easy, that was for sure. Escalating skirmishes on the border between Mallaruza and Huren, an outbreak of some deadly virus, and the upcoming elections were all keeping her out of trouble and on her toes. As far as Simon could tell, she'd done a pretty decent job of promoting the good Abi was doing for his country. Since Abi was becoming suspiciously more saint-like as the day of his re-election approached, her duties were of the cheerleader variety, exactly what the untidy yet vivacious Miss Goodall excelled at. She wasn't going to hinder Simon's investigation in any way. Intel divulged that she'd been fired from the PR company she'd worked for. Being phenomenal at her job had saved her cute ass every time she'd pulled some insanely over-the-top stunt, like attacking one of the other members of the staff or throwing a vase full of flowers at a client. She was impulsive, volatile, and unpredictable. Simon had a wary respect for unpredictable. His work as a T-FLAC Psi operative made unpredictable the norm. But an unpredictable civilian, right in the middle of what had the potential to be an extremely volatile conflict between two small countries, was not good. His job here was simple. As president, Abi Bongani had called him in, because he suspected another wizard might be manipulating the skirmishes on his border with Huren. The Hureni were a violent people, but they usually kept their fighting internal.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?